Today's heroine comes from one of the most popular anime series in recent years, Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Today, she will be the muse on our journey to mastering brushes and textures in Photoshop. Attack on Titan takes place in a universe where humanity has had to hide behind walls from a very terrifying species, Titans. Titans resemble humans, but feature many abnormalities and vary in size. The show is currently in its third season, and we still have yet to learn the origins of Titans or why they even exist. The show focuses around the protagonist, Eren, and his two childhood friends, Mikasa and Armin, who grew up behind the walls of Maria, the outermost wall in the kingdom. In this piece, we will only be using one brush. From beginning to end, we will be using the same exact brush when sketching, erasing, coloring, and shading. The first step will be picking the correct brush for your piece. Do you want a solid brush to create sleek lines, or a dry brush for natural textures? Textured brushes offer a wide variety of customization options. Rotation, angle, spatter size, spacing, granularity, shape, and sharpness of tip are just some of the many attributes you can customize when creating a textured brush. Once you find a brush that works for you, master it, and you can apply it to any artistic method of expression. Just like how Mikasa has mastered the form of skillfully slaying titans. We're going to use a dry, angled brush for a more natural and traditional feel. The next step is to make sure your pressure sensitivity is set to how you like it. Being able to vary the shape and opacity of the stroke will be vital in today's episode. Before you begin drawing, make sure you've created a new layer to begin sketching on. Who else here has accidentally drawn on the background layer before? Me. Now, with our angled dry brush set to a small size and with pressure sensitivity on, we are going to begin roughing out Mikasa's pose. We want her to feel weightless, yet in control, as she is often flying through the air. Her swords around, ready to slice any titans she crosses paths with. Once we're happy with the posing, we are going to begin roughing out her expression with the same small brush. Mikasa is quite different from the other characters on the show in the sense that she is incredibly stoic for her young age. Even when taking a life, whether human or titan, she's unfazed. This isn't to say she's emotionless or evil. Deep down, she's protective, kind, and has a strong moral compass. The only time we see an unusual amount of emotion coming from her is whenever Eren is in danger, as she is very protective of him. To capture her essence, we will be depicting her calm, cool, and composed expression that she wears even in battle. After we've decided on a rough pose and facial expression, we are going to create a new layer to begin blocking in our base colors. Normally, artists will go over their sketch to create their final line art, but our artist Mikel doesn't actually do line art in most of his pieces. So, keeping everything on separate layers is incredibly important. It doesn't just allow you to go back and add, change, or remove certain elements of the piece. It also allows you to add more textural depth and volume. Now, let's space out all the colors of Mikasa's uniform. Her uniform shows she is part of the Scouts, or more specifically, the Survey Corps, whose main responsibility is killing the Titans. Despite the fact that many die from this job, Mikasa joins Eren in his goal of eliminating all the Titans, a promise that he made after Wall Maria fell and his mother was eaten by a Titan. Even though Mikasa shares the same hatred, as Eren's mother was also Mikasa's adoptive mother, her true goal is to protect Eren as much as possible. While we progress through the series, she proves to be a valuable asset to the army, as she shows incredible combat skills while in training throughout the show. Now that we have all of our colors blocked in, the next step will be adding highlights and shadows by creating gradients. First up is the manual route. Double check to make sure your pressure sensitivity is on, as that will be key for this method. Make sure your brush is relative to your drawing area and start strong. Then, let go of that strength as you move across the canvas. This will create a nice, handmade gradient that gives off a more organic feel. If it's not as smooth as you'd like, you can always go back in with the eraser tool and run through your stroke in the opposite direction. But beware! Pressure sensitivity can make things a bit tricky when it comes to cleaning up the piece, but the lasso tool will be your savior. For the big areas that you need to shade or color, we recommend you first go in with a bigger brush size, sometimes even huge, like Colossal Titan huge. And then you can go ahead and polish it up with the eraser tool. If you have any areas where the eraser didn't do its job, just like how Eren continuously fails to do his, just draw over the area with the lasso tool and delete the section to make sure all brush strokes are completely gone from that layer. Fortunately, in our Photoshop universe, we are able to fix mistakes. This scarf is Mikasa's most prized possession, and the drawing simply wouldn't be complete without it. To express the texture of the material, we are going to go in with a smaller sized dry brush and draw in patterns to give it a more graphic feel. With this, the angular tip of the brush comes in handy because it aids in emulating the crisscross stitching of a real knit scarf. The scarf may seem like a simple accessory to those unfamiliar with the show, but there is quite a bit of backstory to it. Eren gave Mikasa the scarf after a very traumatic incident that took place during their childhood. The scarf is not only a symbol of their friendship, but it's something that gives her comfort and strength. It's something that makes her smile, a rare expression to see on her face. First, we shade the neckline with a darker color. Then, we go in with the eraser tool and begin to shape and cut out the lapels. After that, we go ahead and smooth out the dark areas with a bigger eraser size and vary the pressure to create a nice, smooth gradient from scratch. If you aren't feeling up for the manual gradient route, we offer you the gradient tool. Using the gradient tool is a much quicker method of shading, especially when combined with the lasso tool. The combo of these two tools will not only allow you to add more volume to your color variations, but also add shadows to them. It's truly a wombo combo, just like Captain Levi and Mikasa fighting alongside together, a truly undefeatable method for success. Speaking of, is anyone else starting to think the two are related? Let us know in the comments if you believe the conspiracy theory that Mikasa, Levi, and Kenny are actually akin. Many aspiring artists often have questions of what brushes to use, but ultimately, the real answer is that it's all about what you feel most comfortable with. And that's it for today. Look at our beautiful Titan slashing queen. So, remember when you're attacking the Titan that is Photoshop, make sure to choose your brush wisely, adjust the settings to get the exact look that works for you and the look you're trying to achieve, turn on that pressure sensitivity to change opacity, and use the lasso and gradient tool to your advantage. We're hoping these tips aid you in your next piece when you're deciding how to tackle textures and get the look and feel you strive for. And as for Mikasa, we're looking forward to future episodes featuring her boss Titan takedowns. And maybe we'll even learn more about the origins of the Ackermans. Thank you for watching this episode of Heroines. Comment and let us know who your favorite anime gal is. And make sure to check out the description below to find more of our artist Mikel and how to follow Gamma Ray across the web.